You're invited to pretty with me at my pretty party. It's your favorite auntie. Keep your pity, give me the party. I gotta look good, so I'm gonna be tardy. What's up, my teacups and teapots? It's your favorite auntie. I am back, yes, with another video. Thank you so much for joining me. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Joy Moya. I am your favorite auntie. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the video to get the algorithm up, and also leave a comment. Let me know where you're from, what you're up to, what you think about the video, all that good stuff. All right. So this week we are diving into the push that you will need to get through this life. Yes, there will be moments in time that you will have experiences in this life that will cause you to be at a standstill, to be just frozen, blacked out, and just discombobulated. But God will send you a pusher, okay? A pusher. We are getting the push from Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. Let me go to that very quickly. I thought I had it like marked off, but I guess I don't. So let me find Jeremiah really quickly. Jeremiah is right after Isaiah. All right, so Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I sanctified you. I ordained you a prophet to the nations. Your auntie has her favorite lashes on too. I put these lashes on and Ginger looked upside my head and took off running. And she looked back and looked at my face, because that's how she communicates. She communicates with the eyes, so she looks into my eyes. And then I put these lashes on, honey. I bet she thought, oh, this woman got spiders on her face. Anyway, let's get back to this word. All right. So when you think about the push, this simply means that God will put someone into your life that parents you, understands you, speaks into your life, and hover over you to make sure that you are safely having the life that God expects you to have, having your best life. Okay. Now, all of the time, you may not get this from your biological parents. Okay. I myself no longer have parents. Both my parents are deceased. So God has placed someone in my life to push me, to parent me, to understand me, to speak into my life, to hover over me, to make sure that I am living my best life, getting the full experience of life, making sure that I get up and, just keep moving forward. God will place someone in your life to do that for you, and it may not be your biological parents. Granted, it will definitely, possibly, more often comes from the people that biologically birthed you or created you. But in other instances, like when your biological parents are not around or non-existent, then God will definitely place someone in your life to make sure that you get the push that you need to keep moving, to keep going, and to reach your highest potential. My dad was not in my life as an active parent. I've mentioned in a previous video that my dad denied me, so he did not have anything to do with my upbringing. So I would say throughout my childhood, I may have seen him like maybe 4 times, possibly five, if that might be a stretch. And then teenage years, I sought after him, and I may have seen him again about 5 or 6 times throughout the teenage years. That's a stretch. And then in the adult years, again, I sought after him, and again, it was, very few in between that I would actually see him, and I didn't talk to him, that often. Yeah, so God definitely still placed someone in my life. Like, I had an uncle, his brother actually stepped in, and he just he was just the best thing ever to happen to me. It's like he definitely understood me, and he had so much patience with me because me in my young mind didn't understand, the weight of what I was carrying, and I didn't understand you know, all of the challenges that I actually had that I didn't even know that I had. But he understood that. And he did not hold it against me. He did not, throw it in my face. You know what I mean? Like, he did his best to step in as that father figure, even though he was my uncle, and he was very, very patient, understanding, and respectful and kind, and he was just over the moon about me, and that felt really great. You know what I mean? It felt really great. He thought about me. He thought about what was going on with me. I remember when I got a car, right? And my car was having trouble. It was leaking. What was it leaking? It was leaking the windshield wiper fluid. It was leaking that, and then it needed brakes or something else. And I didn't know anything about cars. I just knew how to drive. I didn't trust anyone, to go into a place to have it serviced. You know what I mean? Like, of course, there are a lot of car lots and car shops, that I could have gone to, but me being young, not having that male figure to guide me and, instill the trust in me for, some of these people in some of these places, I struggled. I struggled in the beginning during that time, and he stepped right on in and said, can you get to me? Can you drive to me? And then I'll take you. We'll go here where I go. And that was just a huge help for me. That's one thing that stood out, um, it was huge. And then, like, for family time, he was my family, and he made me feel like family. Okay, so that's leading me to the book of Esther. Let me find old Esther. Yep. Old Esther. Esther is in the Old Testament, I suppose. Or is it? Let me see. Right after Nehemiah. All right, so a train is coming. I'm going to be quiet while this train passes, okay? I don't know if the horn... I don't know. All right. So Esther, chapter 2. Chapter 2, we're going to verse 7. And Mordecai had brought up Hadassah, that is Esther, his uncle's daughter, for she had neither father nor mother. The young woman was lovely and beautiful. When her father and mother died, Mordecai took her as his own daughter. So God is going to have someone to come in and parent you, take you under their wing as if you are one of their own, okay? So, with so many things to worry about in life, this is something that I want you to understand. God has you covered, okay? God has your back. He's always concerned about every little detail about your well being. I mean, even the numbers on your head, even the hairs on your head are numbered. Let me get that out correctly. Even the hairs on your head are numbered. So God is not a respective person, and he pays attention to detail. So don't think that you're out here by yourself. You are never alone, even though it might feel like it at times, in the quiet spaces, when there's no one around, there's no one to talk to. It may feel like you are alone, but God is always with you. And it's kind of scary if you think about how close um God is to you, okay? But don't freak out. Oh my God, please. When when you come to that revelation of how close God is to you, please don't freak out, because you're gonna think about some things that you done said and you done did in your life, and you're like, oh, God saw me, God heard me. Yes, and you're still here, and he still loves you, and he still has a purpose and a plan for your life, okay? So, all right. And yeah, so just don't freak out about that, okay? And then it says, now when the turn came for Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her as his daughter to go into the king, she requested nothing but what Haggai, the king's eunuch, the custodian of the women, advised, and Esther obtained favor in the sight of all who saw her. So the purpose of this push is so that you can know what to ask for, know what to seek, and to have favor over your life. Okay, so that's the purpose of this push. So we're going to break down the word push. Push. So the P, okay, is for your parents. Again, let's go to Psalm 27. Psalm 27 and 10 reads that when my father and mother forsake me, then the Lord will take care of me. Okay? Understand that God will take care of you even if you do not have your biological parents. Again, I do not have my biological parents, and God has been faithful. Okay? God has been faithful. And for those of you who do not have your mother or father, or you only have one parent, trust and believe that you will have the resources, the guidance, and the support that you need to get what you need out of this life. So please don't worry, okay? Don't worry. All right. The parent not only pertains to the two people that were chosen to get you into this world, but also the person or people that will oversee or look out for you while you're still trying to figure things out and grow into your maturity. Now, don't receive the word maturity in a negative way. Think of it as growing into knowledge or wisdom. Okay. Now, again, I am a person that's, kind of sensitive sometimes. I take offense easily. And I think, if I'm honest, it has a lot to do with, being abused and being bullied. So I'm always on guard, like, oh, be careful how you talk to me, or be careful what you say to me, and watch the words, that you use with me. And when I found God and, received the Holy Ghost, I was like, oh, is that what that was? Okay, so now I know how to, let me see how I can put this. Now I know how to receive correction without offense. Um, I can receive instruction um, without rebellion. Yeah, so I put on the armor. I put on the armor of God, and it's the knowledge and the wisdom of God, right? So, with that being said, whatever is, good for me, you know, I'm able to receive it. And whatever is not good for me, I have that armor on and I'm able to block it, right? All right, so if we go to, again, let's see, if we go to the book of Esther, okay, we already in Esther, chapter 2, verse 7, all right? And it talks about Mordecai, how Mordecai took Esther under his wing, right? Right? Mordecai took Esther under his wing and raised her as his own. So that was the parent. He parented her even though she no longer had biological parents, right? Now, my teacups and teapot, auntie wants you to know, I want you to be aware of the difference, okay, between someone praying for you and someone praying on you, okay? I want you to know the difference, okay? It's not only in the spelling, but most importantly in the act itself. Mordecai did not pray, Prey, on Esther. He prayed, Prayed, for her. Okay? All right? And because you might not have your biological parents, you will definitely have moments and seasons of vulnerability, or somehow that word is said. You will be vulnerable, okay? How about that, okay? All right, and you're gonna have to know, you're gonna have to be aware, okay? Because that void is like, it's like an aroma for predators. They can smell it. They can smell your neediness. They can sense, that you need something. You're open. And to be honest, you will unconsciously seek it. I'm guilty. I'm guilty of that, right? I wanted to definitely fill that void, that I had from my father figure. I definitely wanted that male attention, male direction, male instruction, male guidance, male influence. Now, because of this, sorry, the train again. Because of, oh gosh. Yeah, I live like, honey, when I say the train is like right there outside of my window, it is right there outside of my window. So can you imagine? I hear this train horn all day, all the time. I think it may be about maybe 8 hours that I don't hear the train, and that's probably in between Saturday going into Sunday sometimes. All right, so where was I? Yeah, so the predators are out there, okay? The predators are out there, and you will have to definitely be aware of the intentions of, you know, um, the people that come into your life, okay? Okay? Because again, you are going to want to feel that absence. You're going to want to feel that void that you have, okay? All right? So just be mindful. If the person that is coming into your life, taking you under their wing, saying, hey, come on, I got you, I got you. Now, if they are positioning you to be manipulated and dependent primarily on them, then, that would be a red flag, okay? Because what they're supposed to do is instruct you, guide you, and show you how to be totally dependent on God, because it is through God that we have all things, okay? It is through God that we have that person that is saying, okay, come on, I got you. But if that person is not redirecting you to God, then that is a red flag. If that person is, requiring you to depend completely on them, solely on them, that is a red flag. If they're not showing you, for instance, how to go to that car shop and how to talk to the people, and what to say and what not to say, you know what I mean? When my uncle took me to that car mechanic, and I dropped my car off and we rode back to his house, and they called and said, oh, well, there's something else wrong and you need to come and see. Well, to be honest, I spoke too soon, because I wanted my car fixed and returned so that I can go and, do what I wanted to do. I wanted my car back and fixed so quickly, so badly. I spoke out of turn. I was like, well, whatever it is, just go ahead and fix it. I'll pay for it. I had the money. But my uncle wanted to, point out to me that there may not have been a major issue, or that issue could have probably been fixed by him, or less expensively. So I spoke out of turn. So if the person that is taking you under their wing is not showing you your error, you know what I mean, and helping you understand, then that's a red flag. Okay? Your parent is going to help you understand and also understand you. Now, my uncle didn't flip out on me. He was so soft spoken. He was so gentle. You know what I mean? And he was from the South, from Arkansas. I have a lot of uncles. And when I first saw them and met them, I was just over the moon, about my family. But anyway, yeah, so the person that God sends you is, going to pray for you and not pray on you. If you notice that they are not directing you toward God, then that's a red flag, okay? If they are not guiding you with instruction for you to become independent and live your best life, that's a red flag, okay? All right, so again, they're going to do their best to guide you and protect you from misfortune. That's the you. They're going to understand what you need, okay? They're going to understand what you need. They're going to understand what they need to say, okay? They're going to understand how to talk to you, how to treat you, how to handle you. Okay, again, my uncle did not mishandle me. You know what I mean? Even though I made the mistake, he offered correction with understanding. And I was able to receive that, right? All right. So again, they will not use you for money. I can't think of not one time my uncle asked me for money. This one that I'm talking about, my dad's brother who stepped in when my dad was absent. He never asked me for anything. Nothing. And that was good enough for me just to come around. Just to come around the house, be in the house and be a part of the family. And we went on road trips and family vacations, and it just dinners. It was church. It was he did his best. He did his best, but there were some things that I needed to do for myself. If I'm being honest, okay? I can be honest now. I'm almost 50, and my uncle did his best from the age that I was 15 up until I was maybe like 30. I want to say in my late or middle 30s, my uncle was there. Yeah, until my later middle 30s, my uncle was there until he died, and he did his absolute best to defend me, to support me, to understand me, to take care of me. He did his absolute best. And then after him, God sent another person. Okay? So you just got to be careful, because there are evil spirits within people, and you have to discern which is which. Okay? You have to discern that for yourself, and you have to understand that you have a void, you have a need, and that need and that void is definitely exposed by the way that you carry yourself. Okay, so just be mindful of that. All right. Now that was the you that your parent, not biological, but someone that's going to come in your life after or in place of your biological parents. That was the you. They will understand your moods, your moments. They will know how to respond to you with godly wisdom and godly follow through. Okay? All right. Now that can mean a number of things in a number of ways. Like, they'll understand that they need to leave you alone. They'll understand that, that you need to pray, or they need to intercede and pray and praise for you. They'll understand all that. Okay? All right. And that'll be the way that you're able to tell if they're of the evil spirit or the Holy Spirit. Okay? You'll be able to point out the red flags only if you know that you're supposed to. Only if you know what to look out for, because there were times in my life that I didn't know what to look out for. I didn't know what to watch out for. Okay? All right. And this parent that God sends to you, all right, is going to speak life into you. Okay? They're going to speak life into you. They are going to give you instruction, direction, and hope for your life. Okay? Okay? Mordecai gave Esther direction, instruction, and hope for her life. That's how she became queen. He told her what to do, what not to do. He told her, don't go in there telling those people where you're from. You love your people. Yes, you love your people, but don't mention it. Okay? And then when things was happening, he gave her instruction. Like, go talk to the king and let the king know what's going on. Okay? So God will send you someone to tell you what you need to know at the time you need to know it. So, rest assured, all you got to do is keep getting up every day with a plan and the purpose. Okay? All right. And lastly, the H. All right. The parent that God sent will hover over you to help keep you from falling into the traps of the enemy. Okay? And to make sure that your life turns out as God expected it. Okay? They're going to hover over you to make sure that that sin is not too heavy in your life, honey. Let me tell you something. That sin thing is that's a personal choice. That's a personal endeavor. Okay? God will send you signs and wonders. You just have to be conscious enough to understand and realize, like, oh, hey, this is probably not a good idea. This is probably something that I should not be doing. Now, let me be honest with you. If you are coming from a troubled past, right? If you are coming from a home or a place that you've had any type of trauma, then your guards are down. I'm going to be honest with you, because this is, my testimony. So you are going to fall into the trap of the enemy because you are not going to be aware of the void that you have. You're not going to have any understanding as to why you're making some of the decisions that you're making, or you are doing some of the things that you're doing. And it's not going to be until you really get with a therapist. No, let me put God first. One, until you get with God, right? And then two, a therapist. You need God and a therapist. Okay, you need God first, and then you need a therapist, especially if you have come from a broken home, if you don't have biological parents, if you have had or endured any type of trauma in your life, you need God and a therapist. Okay? All right? So that parent, again, that God sends you they're going to hover over you, okay? To make sure that, to do the best that they can to make sure that you do not fall into the traps of the enemy. Mordecai made sure that Esther did not fall into the traps of the enemy. Okay? They're going to hover over you and make sure that your life turns out as God expected it. Not to say that you won't have any experiences that are painful, that are distasteful, that are uncomfortable, because you will have that throughout this experience, throughout this journey, okay? Ooh, these trains get on my nerve, honey. Let me tell you how happy I will be when God opens the door to my new dwelling place. Whereas I won't have to hear these trains day and night. But I thank God for the roof over my head right now. Yeah, that part. But anyway, whew, lash stuck together. I have the hardest time getting these lashes to act right. Look, and now I'm stuck up there. Woo, and then I think they're too long. All right, my teacups and teapots. I am your favorite auntie. I appreciate you so much for joining me and allowing me to speak into your life, to hover over you, to push you, to parent you, to understand you. Thank you so much for allowing me, your favorite auntie, okay, to take a moment of your time to spend with you. All right, now go ahead, hit that like button, okay, so we can get this algorithm up, so we can get more people to see this video that may actually need this video, okay, that may need this word, that may need this knowledge and understanding, okay. Hit subscribe so that you don't miss a video, because I keep saying that it's only going to get better from here and you don't want to miss a thing, right? And then leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know where you're from. Let me know how it's going with you, okay? Your favorite auntie is concerned now, okay? And then definitely go ahead and hit your auntie Cashapp, all right? I am going to place a link in the description box, but the Cashapp is the money sign, Keeping Pretty. The money sign, capital K, capital P, Keeping Pretty. All right. Only the K and the P are capitalized. All right. Now let me see what else I want to tell you. I think that's it. God loves you and I do too. That's it. God loves you and I do too. All right. You need to know that. You need to know that. All right. So go ahead. Like, comment, and subscribe. Okay. And until next time, my favorite teacups and teapots.